Chapter 22. Aftermath and Echoes. The fallout from the ApexBet scandal was immense. The leaked data exposed a vast web of corruption, money laundering, and illegal gambling operations that reached into the highest echelons of power. Governments launched investigations, arrests were made, and the carefully constructed facade of legitimate business crumbled, revealing the rotten core beneath. Victor Kroll, once the feared head of risk management, found himself at the center of the storm. His past involvement in similar schemes, coupled with the undeniable evidence of his complicity in ApexBet's illicit activities, led to his swift arrest. He faced a long prison sentence, a bitter irony, for a man who had dedicated his life to controlling risk. The old man watched the news reports from a small, anonymous room in a remote village, far from the bustling chaos of Istanbul. He felt no elation, no sense of triumph. The revenge, once a burning fire, had left behind only a cold, empty space. He had achieved his goal, but the years of obsession had taken their toll. He was tired, profoundly so, and the victory felt hollow. Rami, having successfully evaded capture, eventually re-established contact. He was safe in another country, ready to start anew. He offered the old man a place, a chance to build something new, something legitimate, using their combined skills. But the old man declined. He was done with games, done with the shadows. His thoughts drifted to Elena. She was the one light in the darkness he had created. He had left her to protect her, but now, with the dust settling, a profound longing stirred within him. Had he sacrificed too much for his revenge? Had he pushed away the only true connection he had found in decades? He knew he couldn't go back to the life he had led. The thrill of the chase, the satisfaction of outsmarting the system, it no longer held any appeal. He had proven his point. He had paid his debt. But the question remained, what now? The echoes of his past, however, were not entirely silenced. Unlicensed bookmakers, though severely shaken, began to resurface, adapting, shifting their operations like hydra heads, sprouting anew. The game, he realized, would never truly end. There would always be new players, new systems, new vulnerabilities. But he was no longer interested in playing. One quiet afternoon, he received an unexpected message on his old, encrypted channel. It was from Isabel, the woman from the Milonga. "The game is over for them," she wrote, "but not for us. There are new opportunities, new information." He didn't reply. He simply deleted the message. He thought about the millions he had accumulated. The money, once a symbol of his power, now felt like a burden. It had been the fuel for his revenge, but it held no intrinsic value for him. He decided to use it not for himself but for others. He began to anonymously transfer large sums to various charities, particularly those supporting former inmates and victims of gambling addiction. It was a quiet act of atonement, a way to give back to the world he had so ruthlessly exploited. The old man looked out at the quiet village, the sun setting over the distant hills. The air was clean, free of the stench of concrete and the hum of servers. He had spent his life chasing risk, seeking control, believing that revenge would bring him peace. But peace, he realized, was not found in victory over others, but in reconciliation with oneself. He still didn't know what his future held. But for the first time in a very long time, he felt a flicker of hope, a whisper of possibility. The game was over. The debt was paid. And perhaps, perhaps, a new chapter could begin. One where the risks he took were not for revenge, but for something far more profound, a chance at a different kind of life.